All right, here we are at Hamlet's first soliloquy. This is where Hamlet is first sort of alone on the stage and speaking to us about his thoughts. He has just lost his father. He has just watched his uncle take command of sort of the castle and introduce himself as the king. And so here's what he says. He says, "Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew." So he's literally saying, "I wish my body would kind of melt off, my flesh would melt off my body." Or, and Hamlet is religious, so he believes in the Christian religion and in a particular version of it. He says, "Or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self slaughter." The everlasting is God, and the canon meaning like the rules. So he says, "I wish God had not forbade us from committing suicide. O God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world." He's like, "I'm just kind of tired of being here. Fiant fi, just that just means psh. 'Tis an unweeded garden. This world is an unweeded garden. It's not well tended. There's weeds popping up everywhere. That grows to seed. The plants reach maturity and then they produce new seeds. So nobody plucks these weeds and then they finally just produce seed. At which point weeds kind of get out of control because they can produce, hundreds of themselves. Things rank and gross in nature possess this world. That it should come to this," and he shifts focus kind of more specifically here, "that it should come to this. But 2 months dead," he says, "my dad. Nay, not so much, not even two." It's like it hasn't even been two. He was so excellent a king that was to this, and he's thinking of his uncle here, to this guy, Hyperion to a satyr, which means just like, something awesome to something crappy. So loving to my mother. My dad loved my mother so much that he wouldn't even want the winds of heaven to visit her face too roughly. He didn't even want heaven's breezes to hit her too hard. He loved her that much. Heaven and earth, he's just like, oh my goodness. Do I have to remember? Ugh, she would hang on my dad, as if increase of appetite, as if hunger had grown by what it fed on. So the more she got of him, the more she wanted. And yet, within a month, ugh, he's like, let me just not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. And he kind of turns there because he realizes I'm pissed at her. She, within a month, married my uncle. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor, before her shoes were old, that she wore to my father's funeral, which she followed my father's body like Niobe, which is a statue that's, she's turned to stone, but she cries. All tears. My mom was just weeping and weeping. Why is even she, oh God, like even my mom, a beast that wants discourse of reason, a stupid, like unthinking animal would have mourned longer. My mom married with my uncle, my father's brother, and my uncle is no more like my father than I am like Hercules, a great hero of myth. And he's like, within a month, that's the kind of cadence. Like, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream. He's just like, it's used as a kind of repetitive cadence, a thing that ties the speech together. He's like, within a month. Ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. So before her tears had sort of dried away, O most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to such incestuous sheets. He's like, yeah, you fled quickly into these incestuous sheets. You're sleeping with my uncle. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. So he's like, nothing good can come of this situation. This is not going to end well. But break my heart, I have to hold my tongue. I can't talk about this to anybody. It seems like everybody's going along with it. So that's Hamlet's first soliloquy. That's the state of mind that he's in as this play starts.